Welcome to another episode of the Sipping and Tripping podcast, where we connect with amazing people. Today's discussion is all about friendships in the workplace. I am your host, Desmond Black, and the person that's sipping and tripping with me today has an HR analytics certification and has written and published 18 books. She is none other than Mrs. Geet. How you doing, and how's your week so far?
I'm doing well. It's the last day of September, finally. So,
Yeah,
like, it's
that's crazy. This year went by way too quickly.
yeah.
It's crazy. It just, it just means I got a birthday coming around the corner, which is, yeah, just adding more age to me. It's crazy. My kids already call me old, so
Oh, happy
um,
birthday in advance.
but it is what it is, though. I mean, it's been a smooth year, I will say. Like some years it seems like a drag, but this year it just went smooth. It just, one week you look up and you're like, wow, it's almost the end of the year. It's insane. Like I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. All right, so on this platform, I like to conversate, educate, and entertain. So
Uh-huh.
with that being said, I'm just gonna open up with a few questions. All right.
Yeah.
Now we mentioned in the intro that you work for the HR department, correct?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you said you work for the HR department, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what company do you work for?
I worked for. Am I allowed to say the company's name because it's gonna go off topic, right? It's gonna be bad afterwards.
You said it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, I mean that's up to you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what company you work for, so I can't really say if it's gonna be bad or not.
I'll say this: it's a company that works for children that have autism, and it is a startup ABA company.
Okay, okay. Um, okay. And how long have you been doing that?
I was there for 10 months.
You said 10 months?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. How do you like it?
I was terminated on medical leave, actually.
Oh wow. So wait, you was on medical leave and then they terminated you?
Yeah, they said, oh, due to budget cuts and, like internal restructuring and all that stuff, we're gonna have to let you go. And you didn't sign like the paper. And I was on medical leave when everything happened. So,
Right. That's insane.
yeah,
That is insane. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's illegal, right? It should be. It sounds like it should be.
it is illegal. I've been talking to attorneys and I've been talking to attorneys since May when it happened. And
Right.
the crazy thing is, no attorney is willing to take the case because we have to prove like one attorney, thankfully, like last Thursday or last Wednesday, he told me, he's like, the only reason that you're not getting anyone to take your case is we need to prove that it was indeed budget cuts and not medical related termination.
Right. And and that's the crazy thing. Hold on. So Allison said you can't fire someone on leave. I mean that's true. She is assistant general manager at a restaurant, Applebee's to be exact.
Yeah.
So she's familiar with the whole HR and what's allowed, what's not allowed. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I've been trying to get an attorney, but I don't know if it's just like a California thing. And I've tried to reach out to attorneys throughout California. I'm talking like Central Cali, LA, San Francisco, Sacramento, like any and everywhere. And
yeah.
was like, the only reason nobody's taking your case is we need to prove that the HR position has been filled by someone else and that they didn't just
Right.
do well because of budget cuts and like medical leave and all that stuff. And
And that's the crazy thing. I think it's so many cases like that. Like my one of my last jobs, because I was a kitchen manager in a restaurant for 7 years. I had got arrested for like a little petty thing, right? Where I was at the county for like 5 days. Because it happened on a Friday and they don't do anything on the weekends.
yeah,
And so I missed 2 days of work and they terminated me, which is insane. So I was getting like the unemployment, and now I'm on like medical leave right now.
yeah,
And it's the crazy thing is, I tried to get disability, and they said I can't get disability because my previous employer said I quit and I didn't get fired. I'm like, that's insane. I emailed them the termination papers, so
yeah,
then they had me put in a dispute. So then I missed that day. So I now I got to put another dispute in. So they was like, I can't get disability until I take care of the claim situation. Either that or pay the $7,000 back, which I no, that I was entitled to that money.
Yeah.
So that's crazy how you know they just get away with certain things, and then I don't have the money for an attorney because they were like, oh, I'll take your case. I talked to plenty of people, and then they was like, oh yeah, so we need like 30 grand for like a retainer. I'm like, 30 what? I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. And then
Yeah.
the public defender ain't gonna do it. I tried to get somebody to do pro bono or something. They was like, yeah, nah, I
Yeah,
can't
the
take
pro
that
bono
case.
is who I'm reaching out to, and they can't take the case, and then like I don't want to sign a retainer up front and then have to pay later when I don't have work, But what
Right.
I could do is because this company, like post termination, when I returned everything, go on, they're supposed to get your hours back. See, they didn't do that. They didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I mean,
I'm from California.
yeah. I mean, hey, Bill, you going to school to be an attorney, right? You're not an attorney yet, correct? Um. So, okay. So, where were you born and where did you grow up?
California. I've been in California
Okay.
for all 30 years of
Your
my
whole your
life.
whole life?
Yeah.
Jeez. So, okay. So you lived in California your whole life. Have you been outside of the state?
Yeah. I've been to Arizona. I have family in Arizona. I've been to Boston, New Hampshire, just like where
Okay.
I have like family.
Okay, well that's good that you at least ventured outside of your state because I know that's rough. It's like living under a rock if you haven't.
Yeah.
She said she got connections.
We'll have to talk later then.
I want to go to Cali. Uh, I've
I
been
live
to Cali before.
the part of California in Central Cali is like the agricultural part that I live in.
Right.
Nothing to do here. We got to drive like 4 hours, 2 hours. San Diego is about like 9 hours away, so it's like
Yeah.
to drive more.
So I've been to Cali once. I don't even. Everybody asked me what part. I do not know because what happened was I had went to a wedding in Vegas, and then we was there for like 5 days, and they was like, "Oh, y'all want to go to Cali?" I was like, "I guess why not?" So we drove. It was like a couple hours, whatever. I don't even know. And then they was like, "We in Cali." I was like, oh, "Okay, it's okay." Like out west was different for me. I don't know if you ever watched the movie Friday. It's a movie called Friday, and it's like that the way they depicted in that movie is just that's how it is. It's like palm trees in every yard. Um, when I went, I want to say it was in April. I don't remember what month it was, but it was real windy. I will say that it was real windy, and it was cold. And I'm not big of a gambler, so um, I was fascinated maybe like 20 minutes, and after that, I was just like, okay. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, this, and that." And then I remember it was a boxing match at the time. It was a Floyd Mayweather fight, and I was like, "Oh, let's go there, man." Yeah, right. The cheapest ticket was like 1,400. I was
Yeah.
like, "Yep, not doing it." Tony Braxton had a concert out there, saying over there where the Wynn Hotel is, and I went there thinking I'm gonna get in there. It's like $1,200 a person just like for the worst seats. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that either. So it's very expensive. They know what they're doing. These celebrities, these artists, they go to certain places and they know how to put asses in seats.
Yeah.
But the window hotel, they got the little waterworks. That was pretty cool. And then I went to the old strip and the new strip. So first I went to the new strip, and everybody's like, "You don't want to go to the old strip." I'm like, "Well, I'm out here, might as well." But no, it's the hood. It's the as soon as we cross over, you see, it was like a black cloud, and I'm like, the whole mood and everything changed. And then it was like gunshots, and we was like, "Yeah, nope, time to go back the other way." It's crazy.
Yeah. But
So she said Vegas is amazing when you have money. I mean, yeah, it's listen, it's a step up from Atlantic City. That's what we have in New Jersey. It's a step up from that, but it's at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Once you're inside the casino, it's the same thing. It'll
yeah.
look no different. So, all right. Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a brother and a sister.
Okay, y'all close?
My brother and I, like, we still live at home because my background is mostly in education, and there's like so much layoffs. Like, the only reason I was even able to get unemployment is because I was working both jobs, right? So then
Right.
they, that company that like terminated me, like based on like base periods and stuff, they had to pay the unemployment too.
Mm,
But
right.
lucky that you said disability because I thought I could get disability and an unemployment, but I guess you can't get both of them at the same time, which I didn't know.
Right.
So I mean,
Right.
now that I'm not getting it, maybe I should try filing for disability.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like it's ran through like the same. I don't know if it's called a branch, but it's ran through the same parties, but
Yeah,
it's two different things. That's why
right.
I was shocked when they told me I had to handle the the unemployment thing before I can get disability. I thought that was insane. So I don't know. Somebody was supposed to call me yesterday, and I hate when they was like, "Oh, leave a voicemail," because then I call right back, and then when you finally get somebody, oh, somebody called you. I didn't get a call, so now I got to call tomorrow, and it's like a waiting game. So it's like I need to get money because the
Yeah.
reason why I'm on disability because I just I had one hernia, then they found two more, and I have three hernias, which is insane. I didn't think that was possible. So I can't really lift things, and they don't really want me moving around. It was real bad, but right now it's here and there. It's off and on. Like sometimes I be in pain, sometimes I don't. So that's why I'm on disability. So I'm like, I need money. I can't be just sitting home and not making nothing. Like that's insane. That's crazy.
Right.
Um, but I'm supposed to be starting on tomorrow working on this food truck, right? It's like off the books.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's crazy because the guy never got back. He texted me yesterday, and I texted him like late last night. I was like, just give me the details, and I haven't heard from him yet. So hopefully that's still going on because I need to make some kind of income, and
Right.
that'll be fun anyways. I'm a big foodie. I like to cook. I'm a chef, so working on a food truck is good.
Yeah. I
Okay,
go back a little to like when I was saying that post termination, this
right,
company, they emailed me and they were like, just like this is your final paycheck. And the crazy part is they said we CC'd our attorney in this email and we closed this chapter with confidence in our future. So
right,
basically they were like threatening me in that sense of like, oh, we have an attorney, right? I moved
right,
on with life and everything. And then 2 months later, the different attorney sends a cease and desist letter. And they're like, oh, we need your medical information and you can't have friends that work for me and stuff like that. So I reported that attorney to the board. And
right.
yesterday we got an email back. Like the board's like, no, like this is what we're gonna do because he's not allowed to ask for your medical information.
Hey, they can't. It's like that the HIPAA law and stuff. Like I mean, it's crazy. It's a lot of criminality that's going on, and then people just getting away with it, right? Like a lot of times, these big companies and stuff, they have money, and then like when you threaten or you say, if I have to, I will take those measures, get an attorney, and take you to court. A lot of times they just look at you and like, go ahead, we got good lawyers, and it's like, dang, they try to intimidate you. They like, oh, go ahead, we got money. What you got? You know what I'm saying? So it's insane, but it is what it is.
I mean, this
Um,
company is a startup too, and they work with kids that have autism, which is like really crazy because the CEO, she is like besties with somebody that's like 14 years younger than her. And she like takes this person on overnight trips and stuff. And then like the next Monday, or like we come back and it's like, oh, everybody congratulate on promotion and this and that. And I'm just like, you're taking her overnight and she's getting promotions. I am
yeah, that's
concerned.
it.
I
Yeah,
am concerned, okay?
yeah, that's illegal. That's illegal. It is. It's forbidden. I should know because, like I said, I was a kitchen manager for 7 years, so I had my fair shares of warnings, but that's neither here nor there. So are you employed now or no?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, apologize. I was reading the comment.
That's why I started, yeah.
Um, okay, so are you or have you ever been married?
No.
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 Is marriage something that you're looking forward to or no?
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, okay, because I know it's for some people. Some people it's not. Like it used to be on my radar, but now I probably never get married. But it is what it is. I mean, I've often talked about my reasons why. So that's again, that's neither here nor there. Um, are you religious?
I'm spiritual.
Are you spiritual? Okay, see, I'm getting that a lot, and I always ask people. I'm like, I really think that like the whole religion piece, I think that's becoming like obsolete because since doing this, I think I started June of last year. I think I had maybe two people that said they was religious. Everybody else said, "No, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual."
Yeah.
My last guest told me like they're not religious because it's a lot of false prophets. It's a lot of preachers and priests and stuff like that that do what you call it unjust things and but they say they holier than thou, so it kind of turned them off. But yeah, like I said, in a little over a year, only two people said they was religious, and this is episode 62. So you got to figure 60 people said they not religious. So it's like, dang, it's religion like a thing of the past, or is this it's something that's turning people off about it?
I've seen that a lot. I've seen a lot of comments and like Reddit to people that were religious, and they'll comment why they're not religious anymore and stuff like that
Right.
too, and a lot of them, it's like something traumatic or something, like they grew up in like religious abuse in that sense, like, oh, if you don't do this, then God's gonna do this, and it's like, oh, I have to, and you're like religious trauma basically.
Right. Um, what do you do in your spare time?
I write. I'm an author.
So you still writing? Okay. Oh, speaking about that, I meant to circle back to that. So you written and published 18 books. Can you tell me and the viewers about that a little bit?
Yeah,
Like
so
what are they called, and where can we find your books?
they're available on Amazon, and I started writing in 2022. I was reading this book, and I was able to relate to the character like a lot. So then I started writing, and because I want people to be able to relate to the characters that I create. And I've
Right.
noticed, so I'm Punjabi, and a lot of literature does not have Punjabi representation, which is why I started writing with Punjabi main characters. And even though they're like romance novels, they hit topics that are considered taboo in South Asian communities, like divorce, and there's like, I know divorce is like the main topic that's like taboo, like nobody really talks about it. Infertility, infidelity, stuff just that I want to cover, but it's like not the whole story. It'll be like a
Right.
chapter or like a paragraph or two in the book, but at least like
Right.
if somebody that's not Punjabi is reading it, or that's not South Asian is reading it, they are going to learn something.
Right. So what's interesting is, you're a book author, and I guess I can say I am too because I'm currently writing my first book to be published. It's an autobiography, so I look forward to completion. My timetable has been set back a little bit, but I'm gonna get back to it. I just started working on a few pages this morning because it's been like, yikes. I think like a month I haven't worked on it, which is pretty bad in my opinion. But sometimes it's beneficial to take a step back, to refresh your mind and reset. And it's crazy. Right before you said it, I realized that you put that you romance author. Because I said once I get my autobiography out, I was just telling a friend earlier, I want to try my hand at writing a romance novel. I like all challenges, and I've been in a lot of relationships, been around a lot of women, so yeah, I think I can write a romance book, and I had different ideas. I always got ideas. Like I thought about if I write like the first two chapters and then let somebody read it and let them choose the direction for chapter three. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna write it, but let them give me the direction of where to go with it. And then I'll write it, and then I'll let somebody else give me a direction. And I came up with that idea because that's what they do with TV shows. TV shows, a lot of people don't know. They think one writer. For each episode is like sometimes it might be repeat writers, but a lot of times that's what they do, and that's how you keep the story fresh, different perspectives and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I want to try my hand at a romance novel. Right, like one of my other ideas was write a romance novel, and then the follow up would be like a murder mystery type of thing because I like that genre too. But it'll be a continuation from that. So somewhere in that circle,
Yeah.
like it'll be a murder or something, and then like a detective got to solve who did it, things of that nature. So I'm excited about that. But first, let's get my autobiography out there.
Yeah.
So
See, for me, I don't write like chapter 1, chapter 2. If I have an idea, like I'll open my notes app and I'll write like the entire chapter that I have, and then I'll like go around, and then after everything's done, then I'll like send everything to like Google Doc, and I'll choose to organize what's going to be chapter 1, 2, 3. But I don't write chapter 1, 2, 3. Like I cannot do that. I will have writer's block if I do that.
You know, that's the crazy thing. So I had an outline, I had a structure of how I wanted each chapter to be. And I started off like that. I did chapter 1, then I did chapter 2, and then I jumped to like chapter 5, then chapter 9, and then went to chapter 3. And I think that's what set me back a little bit. But you know, it's sometimes, like I said, it's good. Sometimes you need to jump around because my mind's always moving, and I'm like, oh, I got this idea, and sometimes like for my autobiography, what I did was I sat down with my mom and I interviewed her, asked about questions from my childhood, right? Things that I already knew or things that I didn't know. I learned a lot from talking to her. And my older brother, my younger brother, I asked them what they remembered, and I wrote that stuff down. And so that's another reason why I jumped all over the place, because trying to get them to sit and have a little sit down interview with me was a task in itself. Like, you know, like my mom, like she might talk to me 5 minutes and I'm tired. She'll go to sleep. A week later, she's like, if you want to ask me any questions, now's the time to do it. So then I might be working on a chapter. I'm like, oh, you know what? No, I got to take advantage of this time. So I sat with my mom. So I got like 2 interviews with my mom, 1 with my younger brother and 2 with my older brother. So I got a lot of information. So I ain't even plugged that stuff in yet. All that information, I wrote it. And then I was like, once I get the chapter done, then I'll go back and, you know, filter through what they told me and just add that little minor details. But I'm excited. And you know, this is season 3. I just started it last week. But prior to that, it was like 7 weeks I haven't had a show because I was so consumed in my writing. Yeah. Right. And now that I'm back with the podcast, I haven't been writing. So it's crazy. And I'm trying my best to figure out a way to manage my kids, manage writing the book, manage the podcast. I'm trying to juggle all of that, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
Said James Patterson. Yeah, you know, I like James Patterson, but he can get stale sometimes. Like my favorite authors, man, Michael Connolly, he do murder mysteries. This is my favorite author. I like John Sanford, John Grisham on you know, Bella, you should like John Grisham. He's on that legal stuff. John Grisham's good. Vince Flynn is another one. You know, it's a lot of good authors out there. Like Danielle Steele, she do the romance. She's pretty good. She's pretty dope. I read a lot of Danielle Steele. You know, so yeah, I like to read. But besides murder mysteries and romance, I like thought-provoking conversations and anything intellectual, right? Like, I don't know. I'm big on psychology and sociology. So if it's something to gain from it, I'm all for it. Yeah, like I got a couple of biographies. You know, obviously I wanted to see the style of different writers, so I can apply it to my own. So yeah. It's fun times.
Yeah. I mean, with what you just said too, and I was telling, I was a guest on a podcast yesterday too, and I was telling the person that when we were having this conversation about the whole HR situation and like friendship, like, because the CEO was my friend, we met in meditation, that's how I got the position. But like working for your friend, I would highly say no, because like I told her too, and I was like, I will match your respect, but I will top your disrespect.
I hear that. And it's great. You mentioned friendships, right? So that's one of the topics we wanted to talk about is friendships in the workplace. Like how do you view friendships in the workplace?
So now, like whenever I'm doing job applications and stuff, I try to find like remote positions because I'm just like I don't want to deal with anybody anymore. Like this really was like a very traumatic experience, and research shows like you cannot recover from a toxic workplace for 36 months, at least 36 months. So
you say you can't recover. You said
like it takes 36 months to recover. Sorry, to recover from a toxic workplace.
Okay. Ooh, see, it's interesting. You know, it's crazy how it's certain statistics and studies that's out there because, you know, as far as recovering, I see for me, I don't know if I can recover. I mean, I've been in a lot of situations where, you know, I just couldn't it became painful going to work because it was toxic. right? Or at least that I felt it was toxic. And I wouldn't say I recovered it. I just basically masked it. Like what a lot of people do with their feelings, you just mask it. You just pretend that it doesn't exist. And then I know for me, a lot of times I had to sit back and say, you know what? I'm doing this for me and I'm doing this for my kids. I got to make sure I'm able to provide, right? So I go in thinking like that. And anything that made me mad, I had to think about my kids. Like, if I don't have this job, that means I don't have no money. And then when my kids ask me for something, I tell them no. Now they disappointed, so I can't do that. So that's what centered me, right? That's what kept me grounded. Just focusing on the bigger picture, and my kids and their happiness is the big picture.
Yeah.
So, now, speaking about that, friendships in the workplace, like a lot of times, like personal drama or relationship issues spill into the workplace, which it disrupts the flow of things, right? And it becomes unprofessional, right? Like I know me being a kitchen manager, a lot of times, you know, like in the beginning, early on, like I hired like couples. I'm like, okay, well, I get two for the price of one. And so I had to learn, like, nah, that's not good. Because when they have problems, it's not good. So I stopped hiring couples,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of meeting a few that became not only friends but family outside of work. I've also put in 13 years at the same company. 13 years, that's good. Longevity is always good. But like you see, that's the thing. No matter where you go, you're gonna make friends. So
Yeah.
it's hard to not make a friend at work. Now I've been around a lot of people that was just like set in their ways, and they'll tell you, "I'm not here for friendship," and you be like, "Well, dang, like." While we at work, we can't communicate. No, I work with a lot of people like that. That wouldn't need if it's not. Oh, can you pass me the tongs? Can you do this? If it wasn't work related, they would not hold a conversation. And I was like, ugh. And I hated working with people like that because it makes it hard. Because when you able to laugh, smile, and enjoy yourself at work, the time go by faster.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, when I was managing, man, like it's dealing with different personalities was very tough because then they get mad, and sometimes people get testy. They want to test me, and me being a boss, I used to be like, "Oh, we're not about to do that," So that's the problem with friendships in the workplace. It's you can't control that when you bring stuff from the outside. That's why I used to tell people, whatever goes on outside these walls, check it at the door. You know what I'm saying? Because then I gotta do something I don't want to do. I gotta cut hours. I gotta separate people. Now I got two people that's unhappy. So it's crazy.
Yeah. One of the girls that I actually was friends with, she was so she's married to an Indian, but she's Mexican, right? And
Right.
she didn't know that I was like basically Indian too. And we had like a meeting, me and her, because I was
Right.
like, we're like remote too. And then she found out, and we became friends like that because she wanted to learn more about the culture and everything. I added her on social media, and when I got this
Right.
they said, "Don't talk about me on social media, like this and that," right? And I was like, "Okay." So Michelle ratted me out, and then this girl, so the CEO, I had to get a
Yeah.
restraining order against the CEO post termination too due to harassment, and she like Michelle ghosted me for like 2 months. She knew my dad had a heart attack prior to that and just everything. The only time she reached back out was because she knew, like, she found out through people about the restraining order. And she's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you." Like, that's all she said, right? And I didn't bother replying because I was like, no, you just kind of want to know what's going on, like, still with my life and like work and related stuff, right? So the
Right.
whole like time I was waiting for the court hearing, I didn't talk to anybody at the company. But I kid you not, that day of the restraining order, after everything was said and done, I was saving reels for those 2 months that are about fake friends. So then I texted her. I was like, "Hey, the attorney, like Nina's attorney, said that you can't have friends like that work for me and this and that, and I don't want to ruin your chances or have you be without work." And I sent that, but I also sent all the reels about fake friends. So then she
Mhm.
knows that I know.
Right.
Because like I said, in the first reel was like, you have to be a whole nother type of stupid to think you could do me wrong and just waltz back in.
Right. I mean, it's the kind of things that we got to stay away from in the workplace, like, because, one thing my father always told me was, everything's built on perception, right? Like, you don't want to go to work and every day everybody looking at you, and now you're trying to figure out why they're looking at you, but they're looking at you like you're toxic and like you're a troublemaker. So that's one thing I always avoided, and I used to tell people all the time: if you don't bring value to my life, Control Alt Delete. I got to get you up out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't surround myself with negativity, right? I'm a positive person, optimistic, and it's just, I got to stay focused. I don't have time for the petty stuff and all the drama. People want to cut jokes and stuff. I might laugh if they catch me at the right time and it's funny, but I don't engage in it because it's like a light switch. 1 minute somebody might be okay with a joke, the next minute they not, and then you know how they say is you guilty by association. Just because somebody else is saying something, you might laugh. Now you group with them, and now you got an HR issue. Like, yeah, I stay away from all that drama, man. I had to learn the hard way. You know, I mean, I've had several jobs, and most people that know me, and they question me like, why did you have so many jobs? Like, you can't keep a job. I'm like, listen, one thing about me, I always had a job, always. And
Yeah.
just, when I was younger, it's just I used to tell people I had zero tolerance, and somebody ticked me off, whether that be a manager or didn't matter to me. I said what I said. I spoke my mind. But again, back to what I was saying about perception. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet. Sometimes you got to just bite your tongue. And that's something I wasn't willing to do when I was younger. But now I understand that you need to. So.
And even now with me, like the past versions, like even like last year, right? I would have not been like, oh, I'm gonna report the attorney to the bar, or I'm going to get like a restraining order or anything, right?
Right.
But like part of me now is like, if I don't like do anything, they're just gonna keep doing it to other people too.
So we learned that as we grow up. I think we all went through that, yeah. So yeah, and another thing about friendships and stuff in the workplace, a lot it get real clicky. A lot of people, like, back to what I was saying before, like, they get these clicks, and sometimes when we deal with like clicks, like, it's less inclusive in the workplace. Um, People get alienated, and it's not fair, it's not right. A lot of times, just because you're friends with somebody, people, you might not like this person. Now, all your friends, anybody that's associated with you, they be like, yeah, I don't like you either. And they don't have no rhyme or reason. They don't have, no, you know what I'm saying? They just they don't want to lose their friendship. They don't want to come off as betraying their friend. And they just, and that becomes a toxic environment. And now it's just drama, drama, drama. And a lot of people say they don't like drama, but that's false. Everybody loves drama. They just don't like to be the center of it.
Yeah.
And I often say that to people, but
And
go ahead.
The entire admin team is CEO's best friends, or like friends or neighbors or somebody that she grew up with. So
I'm sorry, I was reading comments. My first job, I got my first paycheck and quit because I had money. I ain't never quit because of the money, because this is the thing: when you're hired, they let you know what you're gonna get paid, and it's up to you to try to negotiate. And if you take that job and your negotiations failed and you already knew what you was getting yourself into, to quit is crazy. Because she said she was 15 years old, but still at 15 you ain't got no real bills and nothing. I mean, I know when I had my first job, I was working at McDonald's at like 18. Right. And then shortly after that, I worked Wendy's. So I was working McDonald's and Wendy's, and my mom wasn't charging me rent and nothing. So my money was my money. Plus, my mom provided food, money. I mean, not money, food and shelter.
Yeah.
And for the most part, clothes on my back. And she was still, you know what I'm saying? At the time, she was still buying clothes, but I bought my own clothes, So I paid my own cell phone bill. But so to me, even though, and back then, oh my God, we talk about when minimum wage was like $7.25 and stuff like that. That's one thing that COVID did for us. It gave us an increase in our salary, man. Like, nowadays, you can work at McDonald's and then you're getting $20 an hour. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the problems I had is when I was managing. because obviously I was salary, right? When you're a manager, you get salary. But I had a problem with my boss coming to me and telling me, "Oh, what do you think about giving this person a raise?" I'm like, "What? No." Like, why? I'm like, because they already at 2150. What I look like? No, because then you give them a raise, now they venturing off to that manager money. Once you break it down mathematically, why would I do that? And I got so much more. I got way more responsibilities. No, give me a raise. And that's how I used to be coming. Oh, you can't be that way. I'm like, why can't I? So I was never for that. And I used to hate when people come to me and say, "Hey, hey, boss, can I get a raise?" I'm like, "You're capped out." And then they go to above me and they're like, "You're not capped out." And I look like an idiot. I'm like, "This is crazy." So that's a little trials and tribulations of being a manager. Because yeah, as a manager, we was required to work 50-hour weeks. I was working like 55, 60, and that was dreadful.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then, like I had to make sure my schedule, like everything was about deadlines, scheduling. You had to worry about food costs, your labor percentage, like everything. And it's real tedious. And when it gets busy, I'll be trying to leave. Oh, you can't. How you gonna leave? How you the manager and you leaving when it's busy? I'm like, bro, I've been here for 11 hours. So it's pros and cons of everything. But that's one thing I did not miss. I did enjoy some people at work. Now, when we talk about like friendships, like they say, as a manager, you're not supposed to build friendships with your staff. But again, I can't work in a place where I got to be serious all the time. I'm like, maybe if I was like 60 years old or something like that. So a lot of times, I don't want to say I got in trouble, but a lot of times I got talking to like, "Oh, you too friendly with the staff." I'm like, listen, that's the way to work, though. It is like, like I did favors for people, but apparently, that's a bad thing. So
My because the both jobs I was working at the same time, one of them was a kindergarten after school teacher because I've been in education forever. But March through May, I was working that kindergarten position, and at the same time, I was working for the company, which like, anyways, but that kindergarten job was amazing because that leader that we had, who was like our boss, she was
right,
incredible. Like we would print stuff out for our own. Like I was on Pinterest like throughout because like it was already after school. The kids were tired. They didn't want to learn anything. It was more like you guys can play, you guys can make bracelets, you guys can paint, like stuff like that kind. Um, and I would be on Pinterest and I would just be like, oh, I want to print this out, and then she wouldn't care. We were printing out stuff
right,
for ourselves on like the school's like printers, paper, and using the school's like ink and stuff. And when the last child would go home, we were 2:45 to 6:10. But like when the last child would go home, she would be like, "You guys can go if you want. I'll just clock you out." Like we had a machine
right.
like the sign in like paper, so she would just stamp it, and I was like, "Perfect," And I think that's the difference between a leader and then the other job where it was a boss. So the difference between a leader and a boss is that position. I was like, I not even that position. I think that I miss working with her more than like I miss that position.
Right, right, right. I got you. So all right, let's talk about friendship betrayals a little bit.
Yeah.
So which okay. I guess the first question I ask is, what constitutes a betrayal in a friendship to you?
Um, for me is when you're putting all your effort into something, and then they just kind of
Mhm.
run away with it. Because it's happened to me where I do editing. Like I have my own like editing novels and like dissertations, thesis, whatever. Like I edit people's stuff, and like my price was 110 for the whole thing, just 110. I'll edit the entire thing, and one girl did her novel. I edited everything. And she didn't even put me in the acknowledgments, and I was like, "Are you like, joking?" Like I did all that. Second time that it happened, I love dancing. I grew up dancing, so I did I choreographed a performance. And this girl, because I pulled my IT band, I couldn't dance anymore. Like my leg was not. I had to go to PT, but she took
Right.
the choreographed performance that I did and went and performed it herself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then the third one is this whole situation with the company with Nina, because we met at meditation. I did her dissertation. I worked on her dissertation. And even when I was working there, like as the CEO, she would say, "Can you do my homework for me? And I'll just put those hours in for you to do my homework." And I'm like, "You're getting a PhD. I have a master's degree since 2021." But the fact that she couldn't even like do anything, and when she walked the stage, and after all her homework was done, that's when she terminated me too. So I
Yeah.
told the college, I was like, "No, like, does she think that I'm just gonna sit here and not do anything?" Because I told the college, I was like, "Hey, I worked on this, I edited this, and I spoke to the dean of student affairs, and I let him know, I was like, I was paid to edit this," and he's like, "That doesn't matter. Like, I have my dissertation and everything. I paid people, but that doesn't mean that you turn in their work." So yeah.
Right. Okay. So I got a few questions for you, right? So is it is it always possible to forgive a friend for a betrayal, or is ending the friendship the only option in some cases?
I think it really just here's the thing. If you do like forgive that person, anytime that you see them and you don't forget it, you're still holding on to that like in the back of your head, right? So
Right.
it's like every time I see you, all I'm gonna think is you did this to me, you did this to me, you did this to me. So is it really worth
Mm.
your mental health to forgive and forget?
Right. I got you. All
Yeah.
right. So, okay, is it worth trying to rebuild a friendship after betrayal, even if it means reestablishing trust?
I don't know because I really don't. Once you've already like done it, I don't like trust you enough with anything to be a part of my life anymore.
That's deep because that's deep. I couldn't imagine a friend or somebody I called a friend
Yeah.
writing me off over one mishap. I would be heartbroken and a little devastated if that happened,
Yeah.
because like I don't know, like we all deserve second chances,
Mhm.
and what you might look at as a betrayal, I may not look at it the same way. So
Yeah.
like I mean, I somewhat deal with that now. Like people were like, "Oh, I feel betrayed," and then I'm like, "Well, this is my stance and this is my thought process. I don't see it that way. I don't think we should be cool anymore." I'm like I've had that happen to me after being friends with somebody for like 3 4 years. I'm like, how is that a thing? We have one mishap, and now you
Mhm.
say you can't trust me?
Yeah.
That's
See,
insane.
if it's like something small, like I'll be like, "Hey, I didn't like what you did. Like, if we could talk about it, sure." But like with Michelle and with Nina, it's like you cost me my job.
Yeah.
You know, like there's that kind of stuff. Like the one with the choreography and stuff. Like I still see her, and I'm just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then we'll like walk away, right?
Mm,
Um, but like the stuff with the company, with the HR stuff, I'm just like, stay away. Like we go to the same yoga studio too. And
right.
the thing is, I was talking to my therapist yesterday and I was like, I don't want to go back to the studio. But he said, like, he's like, but you're going for your anxiety and your depression and like, you've been taking care of your dad and like you lost your job and everything is so hard on you and you're spiritual. So you need to go back. He's like, it's doctor's orders now. And
Right.
I was like, if I go back, I am not going back to meditation because that's where she goes. Like that is
Right.
that she will definitely be at 110%.
So
Right?
just because she goes, that makes you say, nah, I like detach and you want to disassociate yourself from that. Like, because for me, I don't. If I have an issue with somebody or feel like somebody betrayed me, maybe not right away, like the next day or something, but if it's somewhere I like to go, or I frequently go, I'm not going to avoid it because of somebody else. That's just me.
See, I wish I had that, but for me, I'm more like protecting my peace. And plus, like, I already knew that I wasn't going to go back to the yoga studio because I asked them for help to serve the restraining order papers, and they said that
Right.
they can't do it because it's like they don't want the business to get involved, which, like, completely understand. It's your business to, like, do what you want. Like, I completely get that. But,
Right.
like, at least ask me who this person is that is harassing, you know?
Right.
So that's when I was like, no, I'm done. And I told my therapist, I was like, but I have 3 free passes. Like I have the coupons for like 3 free passes still. And he's
Right.
like,
Right.
the best thing you can do for your closure is to go and they have multiple classes. You know, it's a studio. They have like so many different types of classes.
Right.
Go there, see how the receptionist is, because that's like the owner's brother, and just,
Right.
go full circle to the very first class that you started, which was Vinyasa Flow, end with that Vinyasa Flow after, pick two in between, end with that. And then you can drive past that studio and be like, I have no regrets, or I don't hate this place, or, you're more like, you know, you're not driving past going F this place, like, and getting all angry when you see it, because you'll
Right.
get that closure. So
Got you.
that's why he's like, you need to go back in October 3 times. That's it. It's just 3 passes, 3 times, and get it over with.
I got you. Well, so I already know your stance on the whole betrayal thing. You said once somebody violate that trust, you said you couldn't go back to them. You couldn't consider them a friend anymore. So let's see. Outside of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that trust can be rebuilt after a deep betrayal, or does a significant breach permanently damage that friendship?
If it's like a significant breach, then definitely I do think that it will be permanently damaged. But if it's like a little mishap or something that can be communicated and talked about without the other person playing victim, then
Right.
yeah, definitely. I think that friendship can be built. But it's also like, if you do it again, what are your chances? It's like, I gave you a second chance, and
So even though we talk about friendships, right? If you think about it, we could also go into the realm of like relationships. So when you're in a relationship with somebody, right? It's the same thing. Now, why do you think people treat friendships and relationships differently? Because essentially, to me, it's the same thing, right? If you got a significant other, then that's a friendship, that bond you have. You also still friends.
yeah,
So, but people look at friendships and relationships as two different things, and it's crazy. They allow more negative things to happen in a relationship than they would in a friendship. Why do you think that is?
I think like from like psychology perspective, it's because when you are in a romantic relationship and you're like interested in this person, you tend to forgive a lot of things because you're like, okay, I'm going to build a future with this person, and you turn like a blind eye. You know how they say like love is blind, and
Right.
so, like, you forgive more often because you're like, okay, this person I want to build a life with, I want to do this, I want to do that. Whereas
Hmm.
friendships, it's like, I've known this person for this many years. Like, I've known you for one girl, like I've known her for like 12, 13 years, and then she goes and does something, and I'm like, you're joking. You've known what my triggers are, like you know what this is, and it's like, no, we're not coming back from this. You've known me for 30
So,
years.
so it sounds like you're saying you hold friendships or friends to a higher regard than your significant other. And when you say that out loud, that sounds crazy. But that's what it sounds like you're saying. You hold friends more accountable than your significant other, which is
Oh,
crazy
like,
because you just said you want to build with them and you want to spend the rest of your life with them, but you allow them to get away with murder as opposed to a friend, right? Like that's crazy.
it's not what I'm saying. It's what I've been reading on like Reddit, Instagram,
Oh,
like
okay.
the posts I've seen, and like the posts I've seen, and because I'm Indian, so we do like arranged marriages and stuff. So I haven't been in a relationship like that. So
Oh,
it's
you do arranged marriages? Oh God.
yeah. So that's why I'm just like, I haven't seen like in a relationship in that sense, but from what I've read and seen, that's what I'm coming from.
So this kind of left field. So your your parents arranged that, or how's that work?
It could be parents, aunts, uncles. It could even be like friends that can like set you up with someone, but mostly it's like,
What? 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 Okay. So, okay. Do you have any say so in that, or no? Like, what if they
oh
set
yeah,
you up, or it's arranged, and then you like, I don't like that person.
oh no,
Like,
yeah,
can you say no?
yeah, you can, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, for sure.
Jeez. I was about to say because I thought you meant that they arrange it, and it's like that's what it is.
Oh no, it's not. So that's the thing. Like, a lot of people think that arranged marriages is like a forced marriage, but like that's the difference. Like, a forced marriage is like you're marrying this person, period, right? Arranged
Right.
marriage is like you can like go like they'll tell you like it's this person. You'll go on a date with them, or like mostly it's like you'll go on a date and whatever, and then you'll be like, okay, I don't feel the vibe, or okay, I do feel a vibe, and you go to like second date, and then maybe the second date you don't feel it, and then you just go
Right.
home, like, it's not gonna work out, and then he'll go home, tell his family like it's not gonna work out, and then we just go again.
Yeah, see, I mean, that'd be super awkward for me, especially like if so. Let's say I was down south on my father's side of the family where they religious. Oh my God, 'cause I am not religious, so that would be a nightmare for me trying to set me up with religious people. We be going at it all the time because I am. See, on my mom's side, we're what you call it? We more down to earth, right? We get a little reckless sometimes with the tongue. Like we are who we are.
Yeah.
And on my father's side, they look at us and they want to say a prayer every 2 seconds. They don't curse on my dad's side. I curse like a sailor.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I couldn't imagine arranged marriages or relationships. I just couldn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
There's
if I was older and I was having difficulties and somebody arrange it, I would greatly appreciate that help.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's very common in South Asian culture.
right.
But I
Okay.
mean, it's not like it's always the case because my sister's boyfriend, she has a boyfriend herself, and he's half white, half Chinese, and there's no way that was going to be arranged, right? But I'm the eldest too. I'm the eldest daughter and the eldest out of all the cousins too.
Right.
So it's like,
So
oh, you have to set the example. What are the kids going to say? This and that. And I'm just like, if I find someone great, like myself, my mom said I can find someone myself, right? But they are like open. I just have to go tell them that, hey,
right.
you can start looking. But first,
Wow.
it's my responsibility to look.
Wow. So in a sense, for lack of better words, it's like you can't even be yourself. You still need like permission per se, kind of.
Well, I mean, a little in that sense too. It's like, you can start dating like um, when you're done with schooling and you have like a full time position. So like right
Right.
now, I'm without a work, right? And it's
Right.
harder for me to be like, what do you do for? I'm like, I'm jobless, right?
Right.
Um, so right now, my mom has said like, find someone like yourself, and if you can't find someone yourself, then we start looking.
Got you. Now, or in your culture, do you have to marry within the culture, or can you branch out?
Oh no, you can always branch out. That's why they want you to look yourself first. Because, like I said, my sister's boyfriend, he's half white and half Chinese, and
Right.
there's no way any Indian would have found, you know.
Well, yeah. So when you said that's what made me ask that, because when you said there's no way it was going to be arranged, I didn't know if it was forbidden or not. So I guess that's what I was getting at. But
Yeah.
okay, that's good. That's good. So have you ever been in a relationship?
Um, Not like the talking stage, I guess you can say. When I
Oh
was
Lord,
doing yeah, it's when I was doing my master's. We went to school together. I was doing my master's in communications. He was doing his MBA.
got you.
Yeah.
It's funny you said the talking stage. All right, because I on my Snapchat or whatever, or sometimes Facebook, I put like a question of the day, and my question of today was what is the talking stage, and should it even be a thing? All right, and it's crazy. Some of the feedback I got today was crazy. Some people don't believe it is a such thing as a talking stage. Some people think that it's a pivotal moment in any relationship. You need that talking stage, But for you, what is the talking stage?
So for me, it was like a friendship kind of where it was like hinting that they wanted to be more than friends, right? So it's just like the way that they communicated, like the way he communicated things versus like the
Right,
way like your friends just talk, right? And
right.
I remember when I was sick and I was working on my dissertation, I'm very big on adoption as well. I want to adopt
Hmm.
kids in the future. So I did my capstone on adoption. I did my dissertation on adoption. I did like a lot of adoption papers. And we were talking, and I needed like another Indian perspective because my chair for my dissertation was like, okay, you got this culture, you got this culture, you need an Indian. And then my office, because I was a graduate assistant, so me and one other girl, we shared an office. And I was like, hey, in orientation, your boyfriend knew this person who was Indian. I need to talk to him because I need to interview him for my dissertation if he's interested. And then that's
Right.
how we met, and that's how we started talking. And then it got to the point where one time I was like really sick, and like in that talking stage, I told him, I was like, we can't, like today, like I'm sick, but I still have to teach. Because it was like finals or something, and the kids like needed to like know, because as a graduate assistant, what the professor's gonna put is on me to teach them, right? So it's like I have to
Right.
teach them this material. And he literally messaged me back. He's like, I can stop by. I can bring like a warm tea, some jaw. I can bring like a lemonade. And that's like when you find out like the difference in that talking stage. Because when I told my other friends, and they're like, oh, I hope you get better. Like, are you coming today? And he's like, what do you want me to bring?
Right. All right. So I'm gonna ask this, and then we'll get back to my questions. Right. So staying with that for a minute. So another part of my question the other day was this. So when people are in that talking stage,
Mhm.
are they to be expected to be exclusive with that person, or are they free to talk to whoever else as well? Right.
I
Like
honestly,
in the talking stage.
I wouldn't know, because that was my first one ever. I
Got
wouldn't know.
you. Got you. All right. So if you was in a talking stage with a guy now, would you expect him to only be talking to you, or would you say, or think to yourself, well, we ain't make nothing official, so he's free to do whatever?
So the way that I grew up, I think
Right.
changes a lot, because for me, if I'm like, even on like dating apps, when I was on the dating apps, and if I was like
Mm.
communicating with one person that I thought it was going to go somewhere, then I was communicating with one person. And I know a lot of
Right.
people on dating apps would be like, no, you need to talk to multiple people at one time. And I'm just like, oh no, that just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I would say it's tough because this is the thing. I mean, I should know. You know, the problem with doing that is, for me, was one. It's hard to put all your eggs in one basket. So you dedicate all this time to one person, and what? Let's just say 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by, and then all of a sudden they're gone with the wind. Now you're like, dang, I didn't invest all that time in
Mhm.
that one person, and it didn't work out. And then it's like, damn, now I'm asked out. But on the flip side, when you talk to different people, it's hard because each one of those personalities, they're gonna want 100% of you, and the moment you give them 90%, now it's a problem.
Yep.
And it's crazy because you might sit there and say, well, we're in the talking stage. Like, we didn't make anything official, especially if you ain't even going on the first date. So it's like, now you ain't going on a date, and then you expect all of this from me. You expect me to be on the phone with you 7 hours a week, a day, texting nonstop. It's crazy. So that's the difficulties I had. People was like, "Who else you talking to?" And I'm like, "Come on, we not doing that." I used to tell everybody the same thing. Listen, when me and you talking, when we together, that's what my focus is. I don't share my time with
Yep.
another woman, right? If I'm with a woman, I'm not gonna share my time with her. And a lot of times women just like, oh, you trying to run game or something like that. But it's not about that. It's just like, it's hard to put all your eggs in one basket, because then what if you get that let down? It sucks. And then it's hard to please everybody. So when you talk to multiple people, now you ain't got the time for everybody, because now you gotta pull this time from this person to give it to this person, and then say if you got kids, now you gotta deal with your kids. So it's a lot of personalities to deal with, and then sometimes you just shut down internally, and you just say, oh, I need a moment to reflect. I need decompression time. I need time to myself. And
Yep.
now you're not talking to nobody. Now everybody's coming at you at one time. Then you get frustrated. So
Yep.
it's pros and cons of everything. So when it comes to this relationship thing, it's crazy, and the dating scene now is crazy. So
Right.
that's that.
Yeah.
Uh, let me ask you this. Does the definition of a true friend change after experiencing betrayal?
I think so, because my therapist actually said that he's like, betrayal is not a word that you would use on a random Tuesday.
Hmm.
You have to actually feel like that. You have to feel betrayed to be able to even use that word. You
Right.
So, but at the end, like, here's the thing. True friend, I think, is gonna be somebody that will call you out on your bullshit, and that'll say like things like, hey, that dress you were wearing, next time, like, don't wear it because it's like not flattering, or they'll be so blunt and so upfront with you, so honest, right?
It should be anyways.
Yeah. But like the thing is with these like friendship betrayals and stuff, what I'm learning is those people were actually not really your friends, like to begin with. They're kind of like low key a spirit, a monitoring spirit in that sense. Because they like a monitoring spirit that one just wants to see what you're doing with your life. And when I filed the restraining order, you know, like the other side gets the papers too to come to court, and she's Nina on the paper was like, she should just move on with her life peacefully, just like I'm doing with mine. And I was
Right.
talking to my therapist, and I was talking to like a friend that I made through the kindergarten job, and both of them are like, well, you did her dissertation. She knows how you can write. She knows what you want to accomplish in life. And she was very scared of you. She's intimidated by the light that you have. And both times I was like, what light do I have? How do I not know what light I have? But both of you are like, she's trying to dim it.
Right, right, right.
And I'm just like, I know I can do what I want to do. Like my goals in life, like we met through meditation. So we're both spiritual people. We talk about like meditation. Yeah. So we talk about like manifesting and vision boards and like our goals in life. And everybody's like, girl, like you can do it. You can accomplish everything. And that scares her because like, I don't want to sound bitchy and I don't want to sound rude and I'm not like shaming anybody, but she has 2 baby daddies, 4 kids, and she's going through her second like divorce right now. So I was like, you know, I was always like, okay, even with my therapist the whole time, like since December, my intuition was screaming at me like, hey, leave, and I wasn't leaving. You know, I was like, no, it's okay. Like she's a friend. Like it's okay. She's going through something, and she herself has autism and ADHD. And I was telling my therapist, and my therapist got to the point where he's like, can you stop making excuses for her?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough because that's something you know when we talk about like mental health and things like that. That's one of the things you gotta be wary of. You have to you gotta tread lightly with stuff like that because somebody got a disability. You gotta treat them as such. You can't be too hard on them. You know.
Yeah.
Now you got on people that have multiple baby moms or baby fathers and multiple kids. What do you have on them? Because I got 2 baby moms and 4 kids myself.
Oh,
The only thing is I've never been married.
No, I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, because she was going through her second divorce, I was like, you know, she needs a friend. That's what I was like.
Okay. I got you. Because before that you say I'm not shaming, so I was like, hold on, where's she going with this?
No, I'm not shaming like her. I'm just saying like, that I needed to be there as like a friend because I was like, you know, divorce is so hard and she's going through it and like she might need friends and we need to be there for her. And the whole time that she was going through that, though, she was hating on me. She cut my hours during that time.
Yeah, see, that's not good.
She so I don't know if you guys know this, but if you are full time and you go part time, you can file unemployment for those missing hours.
Yeah, part time. What do they call it? Part unemployment or something like that.
Yeah, partial unemployment.
Partial. There you go. I've only gotten that one time in my life. I tried to get it other jobs and I got denied. But yeah.
Yeah, I filed for that and she blocked it the whole time. Like that this was happening and she blocked it because EDD called me and they're like, oh, you know, you're refusing to work in person. And I told EDD, I was like, listen, I filed December 8th, right? And they're like, yes, like we checked. And I was like, our return to work email did not come out till January 8th. Right. So she lied to you guys. She lied to a government agency.
Yeah, which is a crime, but you know, it's all about proving things these days. It's terrible. Now,
I was like, oh no, I need to be there for my friend. I need to be there, and my friend is blocking me from getting food stamps because I said, can you write me a letter that says that my hours have been cut so I can get food stamps? I need. It
don't sound like that's a friend. It don't sound like a friend to me.
And no, but the whole time I was like, it's okay. She has like these, like, you know, she's going through a divorce and she's like, she needs help. And like, you know, it's okay. She has autism. It's okay. She has ADHD. Like, it's okay. She's a friend. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, nah.
That's what she was doing to me. That's why I'm saying that.
No, it's a fine line. It's a fine line when it comes to stuff like that because I don't care if you got what you got going on in your life. When you were affecting my livelihood and my source of income and things of that nature, now we got a problem, right? And now I'm gonna be detached and I don't want nothing to do with you. So for me, that's not a friend because once you do that, nah, it's personal. So I feel like that's something that should be clarified by both people.
I did. I did try to speak up to her about it, and she did not like the fact that somebody was standing up to her because she's like, she literally says, she's like, whose company is it, mine or yours?
Oh nah,
I was
that's
like,
power control.
and I
That's
was like,
abuse.
no,
That's
you be treated like right. And she's like, well, you need to do this, this, and this. And I was like, oh my god. And that's why, like, in May, like closer to like April, end of April, beginning of May, the people that actually work in the clinic, the RBTs that
right,
work in the clinic, Michelle was one of them. And
right,
she said that there's a new person that whenever somebody new comes on, like just a new person, they always say
right,
something as good side. And I was like, why are you telling me this now? Like my hours have been
right.
cut now. That happened in December.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, that's the one thing when I was managing. I was salary. Your money's guaranteed, right? Ain't no such thing as cutting out. If you work for 1 hour, 10 hours, or 11 hours, you're getting the same pay. Now, when I left that job, oh my god, it pained me because I was getting a pay cut drastically because I became a line cook, right? And then it's like, oh, today's slow, you can go home. Like, nah, send somebody else on. Nah, I'm sending you home. I'm like, what? So that's for me mentally, it was hard for me. Right before, I had to go out with this medical leave. That's what I was dealing with. And I'm like, this sucks. I like to know how much I'm getting each week. And I don't know. I went in when I first got there, they was like, oh, we can only give you like 30, 33 hours. I'm like, all right, cool. But when I got there, I was getting my 40, 42 and for the first month. And then it's crazy because I went out for a couple weeks because I got injured. Like I cut my arm open, so I couldn't go to work. That was like 5 weeks. Then I come back, I work for another good month, and then now I'm out again. So it's been a rough road. Um, so is it more important to protect yourself and avoid future hurt, or try and understand the reasons behind the betrayal?
So I think for me is I will try, like the first I will try to understand like why you did it, right?
Right,
We can talk it out if it's like if that person will pick up the phone because some people will be so avoidant they don't want to answer you, like you could text them, you could call them and they won't like respond
right,
to you.
right.
So and then what was the first part of that question?
I said, is it more important to protect yourself and avoid future hurt,
Yeah,
or
and
is it,
where I
or do you try to, or do you seek to understand the reasons behind the betrayal?
Yeah. So if they don't pick up the phone and they become avoidant, then I will go to protect my peace and I will block you on social media. I'll block your number. I'll be like, okay, I gave you a chance. And usually I kind of like, I'll wait about 24, 48 hours because I think that's
Right,
reasonable, like 2 days, 2, 3 days
right.
mostly. If it's been a long friendship, then like you have 3 days, like tell me why you did what you did. And then
Oh,
like,
so you got a little system going over there.
yeah. If you've been
That's
friends with me for longer than a decade, you get 3 days. If you've been friends with me for less than a decade, you get 2 days.
oh wow. That reminds me of my OCD. Like when things are structured and in order. But dang, that's crazy. It's crazy. I had a conversation with somebody that said they give out time. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, when they have an issue with a family member or a friend, they give out time. So I was like, elaborate. And they was like, I don't sit there and argue. I'm not gonna go back and forth. So like, you piss me off, I'm gonna hang up on you, and we can't be cool for 60 days, or we can't be cool for 20 days. No form of communication. And it's crazy because he was like, I do that to my kids. I'm like, whoa, you don't talk to your kids? Nope. If I sit there and say, oh, you want a 20 day punishment, I'm blocking you until that 20 days is up. I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. But some people, they said they do it to preserve their sanity. So
Yeah.
that's wild.
I've noticed like a lot on reels and stuff too is a lot of children and are going like no contact with like their parents or like siblings are going no contact with each other too. It's like
Right.
that's the time that we live in now where it's like I will protect my peace over anything.
Right, right, right. Um, okay. So do you think that some people repair friendships after betrayal because of fear of being alone or fear of having to start over and try to make a new friend?
I think so. I think it's possible. I definitely do. Um, I do agree with that because I know some people that like move. to an area or something. And I would highly say that if you're moving to a new area, you probably don't want to betray anyone because you already knew
Right.
the area, and it's like how you're gonna start over, So they'll
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they'll really like gaslight you or like become avoidant to the point where it's like the podcaster that I was talking to yesterday actually just told me that she lives in a very small town, so you're gonna run into this person, and
Mm.
that person that like actually sent her like literally sent her to the ER because of what she did.
Right.
She just came up to her and was like, "Oh, like I needed a break from you because it was too much for me." And it was like,
Right.
huh? Because the podcaster was the victim in this scenario, but the person who did everything was like, "Oh, it's too much for me. I need to take a break from you." And it's like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah, that's backwards. That's crazy because that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to take accountability for their own actions, and a lot of people like to point the finger. They don't never sit there and look themselves in the mirror. That's a lot of the world. Like it's hard for people to do. It takes time. It takes. I don't want to say dedication, but it's a skill set you got to have to be able to point the finger at yourself and understand. That I did something wrong.
Hmm.
A lot of people like people are afraid to sit there and say, I did wrong, I fucked up. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. But
Like with Michelle, like first when I was writing to her and the text message, it says like, when you stop working for this company, then
mhm.
maybe I'll give you a chance again because right now you snitched on me, right? And like all that stuff. But when I see that you're no longer there, feel free to reach out
Right,
again, right? But
right.
I honestly like now that I've been thinking about it and even like talking to you now and like therapy and like talking to other people, I don't think it'll ever happen again because
Mm.
you cost me my income, you cost me like all this stuff, and then I'm at the county, like I'm like I gotta do food stamp stuff again, and I gotta like file unemployment, and like you had me distressed. Like I had to
Mm.
send this letter because you sent screenshots to people. You know,
Yeah, that's that's crazy, man. I'm glad I don't have to deal with stuff like that. And that's important too. Surround yourself with the right people. I'm all about vibrations and frequencies. So if you don't match my energy,
yep,
then that's the first sign for me. I'm like, maybe you not a good fit in my life. And that's the way I like to look at things. Um, because like I said, I'm too positive as a person. I wasn't always like that.
mhm,
But what I look like bringing negativity into my life, right? Like that just doesn't mix. It's going to be an imbalance somewhere, and I don't need that. I like. As I'm getting older, I like things structured. I like things in order. I like peace. It's
yeah,
nothing better than a peace of mind. So I am a night owl. I'm normally up like 3, 4 in the morning. All right, and that's because that and early in the morning is the only time I have peace of mind.
yeah,
Um, because then it's a lot of distractions throughout the day, whether I'm working or dealing with the kids, or I got 5 dogs. There's a lot of distractions, and that's when adulting comes in, right? You got bills, you got this to pay, you got this to worry about. But early in the morning, late at night, in the wee hours, you don't have to worry about none of that. It's like the world feel like it's going in slow motion. It's peaceful, it's serene, and that's my time to myself. That's the only you know what I'm saying. I get to breathe, I get to relax, and I love it. Now,
yeah,
don't get me wrong. Even though I get up in the morning, I'm not necessarily a morning person. When I
yeah,
wake up, I like that first hour to myself. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And it was crazy because it went like in a relationship, like when I was with somebody, they be trying to talk good morning. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm just being honest with you. In the beginning of the relationship, sure, I could. Okay, cool. But the longer the relationship going, okay, listen, you should know me by now. Like, give me at least the 45 minutes to myself.
yeah,
Quiet, peace of mind. I want my coffee. I don't want to talk. Nothing. Now it's different if I have to work. Obviously, I gotta talk. But like at home, and it's different with the kids. You can't control that. But other than that, nah, I like my first hour to myself. That's just me, who I am. You know, it
yeah,
gets me going. Like, you know how they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
mhm,
Well, my peace of mind is the most important of my day. Like I need that
yeah,
because if I start off on the wrong side of the bed, that's gonna prolong for hours, right?
Yeah.
So allow me to be happy in the morning. 9 times out of 10, the rest of my day is gonna be peaceful. That's just me. So, so it sounds like you had a lot of betrayals, a lot
Yeah.
of tough times at work. You just got to
Yeah.
figure out ways to navigate that and just block out all the noise and just
Yeah. And
find
then
your lane and lack of better words.
now
So,
I have the confidence to be like, file with EEOC and go to the bar and don't let people walk all over you, kind of, you know.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you say you don't have it in you to do that?
Oh no, I said now I do. First, I would have been like, oh, screw this, like it's too much. It's too much on my mental health. It's not worth it. But now it's
Right.
like, let's see what I mean, just even for me, the fact that the bar has taken some action is like, the company's attorney is who the bar is
Right.
going to take action against. So the attorney can reach out to the company and be like, this happened, and I can no longer
Right.
work with you guys, right?
Right.
So that would just be a huge step, like a victory for me, because then like I said, I've spoken to like almost every attorney and be like, hey, what can we do? And
Right.
that, because they kind of know my situation, they would have to now do conflict of interest, right?
Got you. So, so I am proud of you for doing therapy, right? Because there's a few topics I love talking about on my platform, all right, on the podcast. I love to talk about love. I love to talk about relationships. I love to talk about therapy and mental health. So, when you said therapy, like, yeah, I'll commend you for doing therapy because therapy is good. I do therapy,
Yeah.
and it's good. Like when I do this podcast, for me, this is therapy. This is therapeutic for me. It allows me to engage with other people. It allows me to get different perspectives,
Mhm.
and sometimes just getting things off your chest or off your mind goes a long way. Like when I come on here and I conversate with people, if I'm having a bad day, I notice by the time the end of the podcast is over, I'm in a better space. I feel
Yep.
better mentally, right? So yeah, so I commend you for doing the therapy thing. It's important, and a lot of people they look at therapy as saying admitting that something's wrong with them, but they shouldn't do
Oh,
that, right? Because a
yeah.
lot of people, like I employ a lot of people. Just try it. Tell me what you think. You
Yeah,
know?
I never saw therapy as like something's wrong with me, but I do see it as like, oh my God, I get 1 hour per week to vent about things
Right.
that, and for me, like, I'll show you something. I will always have like sticky notes with me, and throughout the week, I'll write down what I want to talk to my therapist about, and then I will do my notes with them. So whatever he says that I like want to remember, that I don't need to bring it back up, or like, um, keep having discussion around it, I'll just write it
Right.
down. And if it happens to me like later on again in life, I just go back to what my therapist has said because I already have it written down somewhere.
I mean, that's good. That's good. I mean, I never took notes during the therapy session. Um, but that's good, because it's just like when you go to school, it's like you take notes in school. So yeah, I can see where that could be beneficial. You
Yeah.
know, so the sticky notes is the question that you have, and
Yeah.
then
So like, I'll have like a pack of like notes with me, like the sticky notes.
yeah,
Yeah. And then like so today's like I have therapy on Mondays. So like from Tuesday until Sunday, whatever needs to be
right,
discussed, or like Monday morning, or because my therapy is in the afternoon sessions. So I'll
got
just
you,
write down what needs to be discussed, and then we'll talk about it. I'll check it off as I talk, so then I don't miss
right,
too.
got you. All right, so anything else you want to say about friendships or betrayal before we close out?
No, I think we got it.
Huh? You
I
said
think
you think we got it?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I appreciate your time, and I enjoyed the conversation. I think it flowed well. You're more than welcome to come back anytime you want to. Just talk about whatever, because I don't have a set topic. Like once we pick a topic, that's what we go on. So, like I said, to me, these are fun. It's therapeutic. But that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope the viewers got something out of it. I hope they was entertained at least a little bit. Um, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. continue to support, comment, share, like all that good stuff. And one thing I've been saying for a couple weeks now that I'm looking forward to. I'm excited. Like, I'm gonna still be doing this virtually, but I will be having some in-person sessions coming up soon. So that's gonna be a different feel for me. I've never been in an in-person session before, so it's gonna be very interesting. I know uh it's gonna be different because like getting people in person, I got to go out and canvas. So that's why I got the shirt right here, the Stiffin and Trippin podcast on the back. I got all my social media handles. So when I go out in the community, I wear it. Like a lot of people, they ask me about it. So so that's how I get some of my podcast guests. They're, oh, I would love to have a conversation, or I'm a talker. I could talk for days. I'm like, all right, well, you're a good candidate. If you could talk, if you like to talk, you're a good candidate. So that's how I get them. And yeah, so once I do this in person, it's gonna be a different feel. Obviously, in person it won't be live though. Those will be recorded and it's got to get edited, and then we'll put it out there. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe in a month. That's gonna be very fun. And then like I like to dress up, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna try to not to wear the same outfit ever.
Yeah.
That's I got an extensive wardrobe, so I like to buy clothes. I have my little photo shoots, and when I do the in person, yeah, that's my time to shine. Everybody, I'm like, oh yeah, he could dress. So, but again, I appreciate you. Shit, I gotta book some podcasts for the rest of the week. I know I got some booked for next week. Oh man, I'm gonna be nervous though. On the 7th, I have a show with a pastor. That's gonna be different for me because it's gonna be solely based on religion.
Yeah.
I might have to get one of my brothers to assist me on that one because she's talk 90 minutes about religion. Yikes! But no, I feel like I'll do good though. I'm always a positive person. I don't never say I can't do. If it's something to be done in life, I can do it. So that's the mindset I have. But I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will definitely stay in touch.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.